Welcome to the Booking Brief Vacation Rentals Management Podcast.
Cut through the noise, get straight to the truth. The Booking Brief Podcast, clarity that books.
Today we're digging into a stack of source material with really one big goal. Helping property managers in the vacation rental space finally stop blending in.
Yeah.
You know the challenge, right? Your marketing pitch, it starts to sound exactly like your competition's.
Oh, exactly.
It's all great customer service, premium homes, fast Wi-Fi, and, before you know it, you're just another tile in this endless, forgettable grid.
And that blurring effect, it's not just frustrating. It is costing you growth. The core insight across all our sources is that most companies, they just list features.
Right.
But features don't build brand loyalty. They don't drive word of mouth.
Absolutely. So the mission for this deep dive is pretty straightforward. We need to understand how to leverage story.
Yes.
Because story is the main way guests decide if you matter, if they can trust you, if they'll remember you, and this is the big one, whether they talk about you after they leave.
And here's the core concept, the thing that really shifts the whole focus. The story has to be told as if the guest is the hero.
Yeah.
Your company, your brand. You're just the indispensable guide that makes their trip work.
That reframing is so essential. You stop marketing robust Wi-Fi and you start selling the outcome of that Wi-Fi.
Exactly. Guests don't go home talking about your, premium experience.
No.
They say things like, we finally got the whole family under one roof and we didn't have to drive anywhere, or I took my big Zoom calls from the balcony and still felt like I was actually on vacation.
That's the real brand, isn't it? It's the story they tell themselves and their friends.
It is. And if you leave that story to chance, you're just competing on price. But if you intentionally guide it, you create specialization. And that right there is the mission for this deep dive.
Okay, let's unpack this. Before we jump to the solution, let's really nail down the problem. Why is it that these seemingly good factual claims like high-quality homes or unforgettable memories just fail to stick when a guest is scrolling?
It connects right back to basic human cognition, to the brain's filtering system. Yep. When a person is overwhelmed with choices, which is exactly what happens on any major booking site, their brain has to filter information aggressively just to survive.
It's a defense mechanism.
Totally. And if your message is vague, it requires cognitive work to understand.
And our source material lays out three really distinct cognitive reasons why story works, where generic features just fall flat.
Yeah.
The first one is pure resource allocation, which they call energy saving.
Precisely. The brain is constantly asking, is this worth thinking about right now?
Mm-hmm.
If a phrase sounds vague, a bit flowery, or like a claim that needs validation, like, say, we provide premium experiences for discerning travelers, the brain just quietly skips it. It's too much work. Simple, concrete phrases that describe a specific outcome, they're seen as useful. So the brain saves energy by paying attention to those.
I get the energy saving part, but if we're trying to sell a 5-star high-value property, don't we have to list all the features? The marble countertops, the pool heater, the high thread count sheets. Isn't simplifying the message kind of underselling the quality?
That is the most common trap. That's you listing features, which is talking about the property.
Right.
The story focuses on the outcome, the guest experiences, because of those features. And this is where the brain's second limitation comes in, what they call mental notepad capacity.
The mental notepad?
Yes.
Oh.
We can only juggle a few core ideas at once. If you overload a guest with 30 different claims, they'll remember 0.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You have to choose one powerful memory, one core story for them to grab and hold on to. So simplifying the message isn't underselling. It's making the sales pitch memorable.
And the third reason is the one that really speaks to how we actually live and, recall our experiences, memory structure.
Right. The brain doesn't store life as a spreadsheet of facts. It stores stories. Every major memory is saved as a journey. What happened, who was there, how it felt. A trip is a narrative arc. This was the problem. Then we found this solution, your company, and here's how the trip ended.
So when your brand message follows that pattern before, problem, help, after,
it slides into long-term memory easily. It's not fighting for space with a dozen other facts.
And we can't ignore the emotional component here. We're targeting the stress before a trip, the profound relief when it goes well, and that powerful driver for repeat business. The pride they feel when they realize they picked the perfect place.
Emotional stories just light up the parts of the brain tied to connection and trust. It makes your brand feel like the safe, smart choice.
That's the goal.
And if your stories are consistent, the guest starts to feel like, okay, these people, they get me. They understand my needs. That's the foundation of repeat business. And that's way more valuable than a one-time booking based on a discount.
So now that we've established the why, let's talk about building this story. You mentioned two major traps that property managers fall into.
Right. So trap one is the company story only. Our founders started this company because they love travel. Our mission is XYZ.
Which is nice, but...
It's nice, but it doesn't solve the guest's immediate problem of needing a place to stay.
And trap two.
The feature list only. 3BR to BA, Wi-Fi, parking. That's just background noise.
So we need to refine the golden rule. It has to focus on specialization. The actionable formula is something like, our company is the company that makes this type of trip work for this type of guest.
Exactly. When you start telling guest stories like the mom who finally stopped spending the whole trip driving, or the remote worker who actually enjoyed this city, you're secretly defining your company as the one that specializes in solving that precise problem.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's move into the practical process, starting with step one, profiling the guest. You can't write one story for every single property, right? A downtown penthouse and a rustic cabin appeal to different heroes.
You have to choose a clear property type first. Then, you profile the primary booker and the main trip type. That lets you identify the specific emotional friction you need to eliminate.
So let's use the source as two big examples, starting with the big lakefront house. The primary booker is, say, a 45 to 65-year-old parent or grandparent. They're the organizer. And the trip type is explicitly, let's finally all be together again under one roof.
And their worries are what you're selling against. Things like, I'll spend the whole time driving and coordinating meals, or the house will be beautiful, but the living room won't actually fit 12 people.
So what they really want is that feeling of success.
Yes. Everyone just hangs out together effortlessly, and I didn't have to play air traffic control all week. That's the win.
Now let's compare that to the downtown apartment brand. The primary booker is maybe 28 to 45, a remote worker, or a young, ambitious couple. Trip type, work from somewhere fun.
Their friction points are totally different. They're worried about bad Wi-Fi, or the desk being a glorified bar stool, or being stuck in a dark apartment that feels miles from the city they came to see.
Right.
What they want is to close the laptop and instantly step into the middle of the action. They want to maximize their time outside of work.
So once that hero is clearly defined, we're on to step two, deciding what you really offer beyond a bed. This is where we move from vague claims to specific value, using those 5 themes guests actually care about.
Yeah, and the sources isolate these 5 because they are, the universal emotional currency of booking a rental. They are. Connection, convenience and time, peace of mind, work plus play balance, and organizer pride.
And these are the things people are actually trying to buy.
Absolutely. Every other feature, the pool, the Wi-Fi, the location, it's just a means to an end. The pool creates connection, the keyless entry creates convenience, your 24/7 support creates peace of mind. These themes are the emotional levers.
Okay, so the crucial insight is converting those themes into specific, concrete benefits.
Yeah, got it.
Let's apply that. For the family lake house, it's not enough to say big kitchen, that's a feature. How do we convert that to the benefit of connection?
Well, the conversion is everyone can eat at one big table, not at separate counters, giving you that one shared family meal you came for.
I see.
Or, for convenience, the private dock is right there. You're not loading kids into cars all day just to find lake access. You're selling togetherness and less friction, not just square footage.
And for the remote worker apartment, it's not good Wi-Fi.
It's a real desk, ergonomic chair, and 500 MP's dedicated fiber, not just a bar stool and a prayer.
Yeah.
The benefit is work plus play balance. You let them be professional and feel like they traveled somewhere exciting.
Okay, so now we assemble those blocks into the full narrative.
Which takes us to the formula itself.
This brings us to step 3, the simple 5-part formula that mimics how the brain stores memory. You need the before, the problem, the guide, that's you, the after, and the punchy keywords.
Let's walk through that first example again, the family lake house, the everyone under one roof brand.
Okay, so the before is scattered holidays in different rentals or tiny houses where nobody can really relax. The problem is the organizer's spending the whole trip coordinating everything instead of relaxing themselves.
Right.
The guide is your company, managing houses specifically built for these big family gatherings.
And the powerful after. The friction is gone. They park once, they unpack once, and the whole trip is spent at the lake or on the porch, maximizing that connection. The keywords that capture all of that are
everyone under one roof, park once, actually arrive, and homes built for 3 generations.
See how specific those are?
Yeah, very. Now let's flip it. Example B. The city apartment or the work calls with the City View brand.
Here, the problem is that classic traveler's guilt. You feel guilty working, but you're also annoyed you're not out enjoying the city. You're never fully on or off. The after is that critical balance. You take your calls at a real desk with a closed door and strong Wi-Fi, and when the workday ends, you step outside and you're immediately in the middle of everything. The travel enhances the work.
So the keywords here, they have to act as a mental shortcut for the guest, something they can just grab and repeat.
That's it. If your keywords are work calls with a city view, or close the laptop, open the door, the guest doesn't need to remember a long list of features. They just remember the solution to their problem.
This is where the friend test and the keyword test come in. You have to check if the message actually sticks.
You have to pressure test it, yeah. The friend test check is you tell your story to a friend, and if they can summarize your brand as, oh, so you're for remote workers who want a real city trip, you're golden.
But if they say,
so you rent nice places, you know your specialization is too weak.
And the keyword test check.
Are they specific? Park once, actually arrive is strong. It's an action and a feeling. A weak keyword is something like unforgettable memories or luxury stays. That could be anyone. It's not useful.
It has to be about utility and outcome, not just adjectives.
If the keyword doesn't reduce friction or define the after, you need to scrap it.
So the final, and I'd argue most important, step is application. This theory is useless unless it becomes real marketing collateral, used consistently everywhere.
Exactly. The story and keywords have to live on every single touch point. Let's start with your website homepage. This is where most managers fail with weak, generic slogans.
A generic site screams, "We offer premium vacation rental management." The specialized story replaces that with instant identity. For the lake house brand, you'd say, "We help families finally get everyone under one roof at the lake without spending the whole trip in the car."
It sets the expectation immediately. And then you have the property descriptions. You don't lead with the beds and baths. You lead with the story first.
So instead of stunning 4BR, 3BA lake house with large kitchen,
Right.
the stronger story-focused opening is, this is the house you book when you're finally getting 3 generations in the same place again. The kitchen is designed so everyone can gather, and so on. Then you list the features that back up that story.
Next is the prime real estate. Listing titles. If you're paying for clicks, your title has to define your purpose instantly. Generic is luxury rental near downtown.
But the story-driven title uses those keywords. Work calls with a city view walk everywhere downtown. Or park once, play all weekend homes built for 3 generations.
It's so much more powerful. And this story has to flow into the service part too, especially the guest messages. You reinforced your role as the guide. A generic note says, check-in instructions attached.
Boring.
Yeah. The story reinforcing message says, we know coordinating family trips is tough, so our goal this week is that you actually feel like you arrived, not just that you drove everyone around. If you need anything to help maximize that connection time, we are here.
You're reminding them of the after.
And your role in getting them there.
And finally, your owner pitches. Owners respond to how your brand makes their property stand out and earn more. You have to show them the ROI of the story.
Stop saying, we offer full-service property management with 15% commission.
And instead say,
Instead, you say, we specialize in turning lake houses into true family reunion homes because people know our brand means everyone under one roof, no headaches. Our properties command premium rates and see 90% repeat bookings. We sell the ultimate connection experience, not just beds.
That immediately positions you as a strategic partner, not just a logistics provider.
It's a different conversation.
So when you clearly answer that simple checklist, who's the hero, what's their problem, what's the perfect after state, what are the keywords, you stop being just another manager. You become the experts who make big family lake trips actually work, or the reliable company for remote workers who want a real city stay.
And that's it. Generic features just fade into the background. But emotional stories, they stick, they build real trust, and they drive repeat business.
And that consistency is what creates that nonlinear growth.
Right. And the sources suggest that by applying this process to even one property type, you create a memory blueprint that becomes automatically repeatable. So here's a final provocative thought for you to explore.
Okay, let's hear it.
Once you have chosen your 2 to 4 specialized keywords, how consistently can you use them across all platforms? I mean, from the initial listing title to your website to the voice of the final goodbye email. How can you use them to ensure that memory blueprint becomes the automatic, repeatable explanation of your brand year after year?
Cut through the noise, get straight to the truth. The Book and Brief Podcast, clarity that books.
Go find the Booking Brief Vacation Rentals Management Podcast and subscribe on YouTube.